This is going to be basically a warning video of you get what you pay for. And I should have known better. No one to blame but myself. Now don't get me wrong, I buy a lot of stuff from China. A lot of times that's the only place you can get stuff, it's made there now. And they do make good quality stuff. But this is the case of poor quality stuff. And what's poor quality is power cords. So I got these two power cords here. Got them on the eBay, and I looked at it through the bag. Oh, it looks good. It's got double fuses. There's the connector. How hard can it be to make a damn power cord? Yeah, well, let's just have a look. So the first one I've already fixed it because I had to redo every connection. It just, oh my god. So I'll pull that one apart, pop the fuses out, and I look at the terminals and they're corroded to the point that even the fuse, you see that green gunk on there, even the fuse is corroded. I honestly think they soldered everything in these with acid core solder. It's not rosin, rosin core solder with the, no clean flux. Probably the first thing is, why are there solder on these terminals in the first place? Why in the hell would you solder them? They're crimp terminals. What's the purpose of soldering a terminal that's designed to be crimped? And even if they did solder it, they still should have crimped the strain relief. I just, what, are you kidding me? Really? I mean, that's what they make terminal crimpers for. Crimpers like these, okay? The proper roll crimpers, they roll the nice little fingers over. Matter of fact, I can even crimp one of these. Let's see, probably be about that one. Stick it in there. And what it's supposed to do is roll the fingers around. See that? But it bites into the cord, and it's not meant to make an electrical connection. That's called the strain relief. There's two crimps. You should crimp the wire, and then you crimp the strain relief. And when you crimp that strain relief, that way when you pull on it, you're not pulling on the wire itself, on the connection, you're pulling on the outer jacket. That's why it's called a strain relief, because it's meant to take the strain off of the electrical connection. But yeah, like I say, the solder they use, and here's the other end of the, the opening. You can see the wires are turning green. Because like I say, it almost had to have been acid core solder. I mean, really? So, I'm just curious to see if, I'm assuming this one's probably going to be exactly the same. No difference whatsoever. So I just wanted to make sure I left this one in the bag so you can see there's the cut. I just opened it. It wasn't opened anywhere else. Get it untied here. Look at the ends. Yeah, I can see the black might not show up in the camera, but the black one's actually starting to show signs of corrosion already. Both these fuse holders popped apart. And like I say, these were fixable for me, but the whole idea is I shouldn't have had to have fixed the damn things in the first place. They're brand new. Yep, exactly the same. Look at that. I don't know how well it shows up in the camera, but it's tarnished and green, and I don't know if either of these fuses. Yeah, this fuse is already starting to show a little bit of oxidation on the end there. I mean, where the hell did the other fuse go? Oh, it's still in the holder. Yeah, look at that one. Whatever the hell kind of solder flux they used in their solder, like I say, it has to have been acid core. It's just the simple fact that, they didn't solder on this fuse. All they did was assembled it, put it together, and the flux has started to eat the ends of the fuse off. I mean, yeah, you can see how green it is down in there. The corrosion's starting to eat the terminals away. I mean, I don't know how well that shows up. Need to get some light down in there. But yeah, so if you ever get power cords like this, you don't need to necessarily, I do, because I'm going to have to fix it, because I got to pull the terminals out of here and put new, and I just put, when I redid the other one, I didn't even reuse these junk terminals they had here, ended up they just collapsed in on themselves when I depressed the latch tab in them. But I used good USA made, I already put the kit away. I'll have to get it back out. But all they are Type 56 Packard terminals. So, Delphi Packard style 56 terminals. So I'll dig out 2 more. And like I'm not going to solder them. I'm going to crimp them. Like I said, it's the whole idea behind crimp terminals is you don't need to solder them. And for God's sakes, if you are going to solder them, try not to use acid core solder. So there you go. There's just a, lesson. If you ever buy power cords on, it doesn't have to be necessarily eBay, it'd be Amazon or anywhere else, but if they're made in China, do yourself a favor, at least pop the fuse holders open, pull the fuses out and inspect them, and if they're soldered, see if they're turning green, and see if your brand new fuses are turning green on the end. So, word of advice.